No, you're good.
Right. So we are live, Lane. I just want to take
What's
the
up?
time, mate, and thank you very much for taking the time to jump on here. And so, obviously, I came across you on Instagram. I believe you shared one of the pictures that I'd shared, and then
Hmm.
obviously looked through and found that you were like kind of doing the same thing I'm doing, but you seem to have a lot more better digital art going on as well, and you're presenting things a little bit different to me, which is awesome. I'm massively down for encouraging like-minded people, and we grow together. So what's going on with the bike scene for you then, Lane? Where did it all start, mate?
Oh man. Well, first, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity to have a chat. Um, from what I've learned from the community is you got to get out and meet people. So I,
100%.
I think it's great that you're doing this, honestly.
Thank
Um,
you, man.
but it's my love for motorcycles started when I was 5 years old. My dad always had motorcycles when I was growing up, and I can remember just riding on the back of his I think it was a Goldwing. I can't even remember, but his Honda Goldwing when I was 5. Just riding up and down the road, nothing too far, but that's where it started. And ever since then, I've just been like entrenched with. If it has a motor, I love it. That's all I need.
Awesome. Awesome. Fucking camera. Sorry, bud. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like you say, we're talking off camera, you said like you started off with like the age of 5, you already knew that was what you wanted, and
Like you say,
it just progressed from there then, yeah?
Oh yeah. I mean, started out on dirt bikes and crotch rockets, and then kind of my taste for motorcycles evolved. Got into cafe racers, and now I'm just so obsessed with the 50s, 60s, and 70s like culture, the
Yeah.
counterculture. My favorite car of all time is a Mercury lead sled. So I I,
Yeah,
lo- I
cool,
love
man.
I love the cars, and I love the bikes from that time, and just like the time period in general has always fascinated me. So the old school choppers of like the 60s and 70s is just my cup of tea.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So like over here we have a Morris Minor that
Hmm.
kind of looks a bit like it, I think. I mean, it doesn't. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but you know what I mean. It's like a smaller version.
Yeah.
It's got that type of shape about it. So like with the bike scene for you, like what bikes was you riding at first?
So my first motorcycle I ever owned was a 2003 CBR 600 RR. I was young and dumb and just wanted to go fast. So
Yeah.
that's how I started out. And then I moved to Florida and I got into the stunt scene. So
Okay.
I got a CBR 600 F4i, another 2003, to stunt out a little bit. Um, and then I mean I've had all different types of bikes. I've had a 75 CB 500 T, and then I've had a 78 CB 750 that I have been working on. That's my current build I got going on right now. I've got a Victory hardball for my bagger to take on long rides, and then I've got
Oh,
a
you got you. So with the Victory, that's an interesting one. So, like, what's your thoughts on the Victory? I'm glad that's cool that you mentioned one of them because I've not had anyone mention one of them yet. I've heard very mixed reviews on them. What's your thoughts on them?
I mean, in my opinion, it's my favorite bike I've ever ridden. Um, Now mine's a big wheel bagger, so it's a little bit different and it gets a lot of hate. But I love the Freedom 106 that they have in it. Doesn't have a crazy shake. I don't get any kind of leaks or anything. No hate on the Harleys. I own a Harley, so but
Awesome.
but no, I love it. It just the handling and everything feels so great from it compared to a couple of the other bikes that I've ridden. Um,
Yeah.
but bikes are all personal preference.
Well,
Some
absolutely, absolutely. So
so
with the so did you build the bagger?
No, I bought the bagger most of the way done. I only did a couple things to it to kind of make it my own.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't messed around in the custom bagger world yet.
No.
Just the cafe racer, the 75 CB 500. I did a little bit of tinkering to change
Yeah.
up my suspension, carbs, some special stuff like that. And then the 78 CB 750. That one's a full frame off build that I've been working on over the past like probably 4 years.
Yeah. There seemed to be a big like really popular CB 750, especially in America. Like you boys have got like it's as if you've fucking hidden a load of them somewhere, you know. It's like
Yeah.
over here, when you find them, they're like £5,000-6,000. Well, well, again, I know people always have a different opinion on, but I've never found them in worthy condition without a rotten subframe. Not that I've ever built one, but when I've looked at them, the swing arms are notorious for rotting.
Yeah.
You know, there always seems to be a lot of problem with them, and I don't think they're quite cheap. I don't think they're very cheap to fix, are they?
No, they're not. I mean, especially when you get in those older years, like the late 70s, like I have, parts become more scarce. You have a couple of people making aftermarket parts. A guy you might know. Do you know Steve Carpenter from Carpy's Cafe Racers?
No,
He's
I
from
don't.
he's from the UK,
Okay,
and I think he lives out in California now. But he does all custom parts for old cafe racers,
well,
from
that's cool.
the 250s up to the 750s, and maybe even some of the 1000s that they made back in the day.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's one of the few guys that's still providing parts for those bikes, custom and stock parts, which is awesome.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. I mean, I got a 1981 CB125 Super Dream, and I tell you what, the amount of people that say no, you haven't. I'm like, yeah, I have, and they never made a 125 Super Dream. They made the 250 and the 400 with the 5-star comp wheels. I'm like, no, they did a 125. I've got one, you know. And to be honest, the 125 was actually a monoshock frame. You know,
Okay.
yeah, that's what. So I'm guessing you're not aware of the 125 Super Dream.
No, that's
Exactly,
something I'm learning about.
but you know about the 250 and the 400s, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, right. So
yeah.
honestly, when you get the chance, mate, have a look. And they did it, and I tell you what, one fugly looking bike, man. One of the most ugliest looking bikes I have ever seen in my life. So they did it's where the 250 and the 400 have the 5-star comp wheels.
Mhm.
My wheels are actually technically they're actually a 3-piece wheel. So you've got the rim, and then
Yeah.
you've got each side, and they're actually
Okay.
6 spokes. To be honest, they look a lot like, you know, the CX 500 wheels. They did the
Yeah,
mag.
yeah, I
They
do.
did the, you know, the mag wheels that they did with the holes in them.
Hmm.
They're the same wheel. They're the same
Oh,
wheel on that,
okay.
and
That's
on a
different.
125. But it literally stock. They look like the back ends collapsed. It was a really there's no where there's no gap between the top of the tire and the bottom of the back end, and obviously it literally looks like someone's taken off the rear suspension
Hmm.
and just left it.
Just no
It it's
suspension back
it
there.
it's designed with such that typical triangular piece in the middle of the frame where you come down with the rear shock,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it's a bit of a strange one, but I've got mine. I've cut all the back end off. It's got a machine top yoke, like solid slab yoke, piece of billet. We got universal clip-ons, and this is the stuff that like I haven't videoed it or anything because it's all kind of just sat away waiting for me to find a place to work.
Hmm.
But less about me and let's get back to you. So you so obviously you were on the Jap bikes, you got onto a Victory,
Hmm.
and the cath. So where did it kind of come in where you knew that you wanted to start cutting shit up, like, and building shit?
I mean, I kind of always knew from a young age that I wanted to. It was just a process of, being able to do it and having the space to do it, because space is always the issue nowadays.
Yeah,
Um, so I started really customizing bikes probably 4 or 5 years ago when I bought my first CB. That's where it kind of came in. Um, but I've been able to hone my skills for different processes. I went to welding school. I've
yeah,
been a automotive painter. So I kind of have, and I've been a mechanic. So I have all these different skills that I can kind of now start learning how to do it. And I just learn as I go.
mm,
I'm not a professional builder by any means. It's just a hobby, and just
yeah. But
I want to be part of it. So
yeah, man. I mean, and that's it. And like we were talking earlier, I can't remember what the name of the competition is, but we were talking about that. And I should know because obviously I listen a lot to Ollie Ride Choppers or Die podcast, and he talks
yeah,
to all the boys from that. So what competition is it again?
Built Wells People's Champ.
That's it.
Hmm.
So like, and you were saying, like, I'm guessing that's where you're getting a lot of your inspiration. You're like, fuck it, this if they can do it, I'm gonna have a go.
Yep. Yeah.
That's awesome.
you know, I'm on a page on Facebook called Garage Builds or something like that, and it's all their
Yeah,
people building their choppers out of their garage, and it's like,
yeah,
why can't I do that? Um,
yeah.
so like I said, just like piece by piece, if I got to look up a YouTube video on how to do something, I have no problem doing that.
100%, man.
Um,
100%. And
it's
we're all qualified as what do you boys call it? The University of the YouTube University.
yeah,
It's
yep.
what I'm hearing a lot now, man. We are all there, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
There's anything you need to build a chopper is out on the internet somewhere. I just looked
100%.
up, you know, I have a page saved on my web browser that's for doing a simple wiring harness. Because
Yeah.
when it comes to wiring, I don't want to mess with it. I hate
Oh,
wiring.
I hate it.
I hate it
Hate it.
so much. So just let me get a simple diagram from the internet and I'll be good.
Are you using like the Moto Gadget stuff? Is that something you're messing? I mean, out of my budget, massively out of my budget for me. What about you? Using Moto Gadget? You using that type of stuff?
No, what is that?
Moto Gadget, wow. Moto Gadget is basically extraordinarily, it's extremely expensive, but they developed their own. I'm not going to even try and say that I fully know what it is. Solid. They're able to use like a solid state. Everything goes into one box basically, and if it picks up on a short, it's that clever that it's able to shut down that channel. So let's say you got indicator
Oh,
goes out. Mate, but big money. I mean, you're talking in pounds. I'm going to say near on £1,000 by the time you bought everything. They do,
that's
like you see a lot of the boys that are having the speedo incorporated into the top yoke.
yeah.
Moto Gadget.
Yeah, that's
And
probably why I haven't heard of it because it's too expensive.
yeah, no, and that's it. It is incredible. Don't get me wrong. If I had the money to use it, but then to me, kind of this is a lot of what drives what I'm trying to do with my social media platform is to show that the boys that don't have money or that are on a shoestring budget are able to create shit. So like I got on my 125, my whole exhaust system on my 125 was made out of a bed frame.
Mhm.
Like I literally used one of the down tubes of the legs. It was about 40 mil wide, which is what I needed for my pipe. And then and I've got from the cylinder to where it wraps around the frame, I've got 17 pie cuts.
I mean, like
Love
we
it.
said, anyone could do anything. It's just a matter of doing it,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah, you
For
don't
sure.
need money to build some of these bikes. You just need the knowledge and the willingness to be able to or the willingness to do it.
Yeah, man. It's and for example, like, all right, Han, how we doing, mate? You all right? Good. Thanks for jumping on. It's my best friend from Spain, Han. It's one crazy fucker.
What's
One
up,
crazy
man?
fucker. So like, what's your thoughts on the Harleys being the price they are? Like, why? I mean, in England they're massive, and I think because obviously I've been so lucky to be able to start tuning massively into like what Ollie's been talking about in America with you guys in America. Even the panhead motors and the knuckles are expensive over there, aren't they? What's that all about? I
I
know,
have
I know.
no
Obviously,
idea.
the age related, but why?
Well, I couldn't even tell you why the price is so high. I mean, obviously age, um, and I think they're just they're just dying off. They're becoming less
Mm,
available. I think that's really all it is. People are scooping them up when they can, if they do see a decent price, you know. Um, but I think it's just like more the culture's growing. I feel like, you know, every
yeah,
day I feel like I see a new motorcycle show out there.
yeah,
And the more motorcycle shows out there, the more, I don't want to say civilians, but the more people that aren't into the culture and whatnot are getting into it because they're going to
yeah,
these shows.
yeah.
Um, and I think that kind of drives the availability down, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's I mean, but like the thing is, you can go and buy a brand new motor. You can go and buy a brand new knucklehead or a panhead motor, and
Hmm.
you can still build your stuff. And obviously I understand that that the boys want the original stuff, but it's like, does it need to be that much money? You know, and this is what I mean. It's almost getting to the stage where obviously I'm not here to knock anybody because I think what everyone's doing in the scene, whether it be that you're riding a 125 scooter or a 50cc scooter, and I respect everybody. Um, it's as if like it's almost, if it's not a Harley or a panhead, or if it's not a Harley, panhead, shovel, knucklehead, it's almost like it's not good enough now. Like, do you get that feeling?
No, I agree 100% because like, you could go buy a Honda Shadow Bob or a Honda Shadow 600 or something. You can turn that into a bobber, but you're going to be looked down upon because it's not a Harley. And I think that just goes back to the days of, where choppers and bobbers all started, at least in the United States, was soldiers coming back from Vietnam
Yeah,
and, turning their bikes into, whether it be a race bike or, they chopped them down to make them as light as they possibly could and got rid of all the fancy stuff that you don't need, just to bop around town. So I think,
yeah,
they were coming back from overseas, and I think the big thing, at least over here, is, oh, Harley's made in America, so
mm,
that's what you want. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
No,
which,
that's it, and the crazy thing is like obviously, the Jap stuff generally was more reliable. I mean, I would love a Harley. So this isn't me talking shit on Harley at all. I think they're sick. I mean, I'd love a panhead. I'd love a shovel. I would
Mhm.
love all that stuff. But I feel like, for example, my little 125 bobber that I got, that's going to be the first bike that's going to be getting built on my YouTube channel. Well, rebuilt again. It's already been
Mhm.
chopped twice. This will be reincarnation 3. But like I can chuck £5 worth of fuel in it, go to work 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 trips, which round trips, and still have fuel left. I mean, it used to cost me. I don't know, fuel's gone up a lot, but it used to only cost me like £6 a week, like for a whole
Mhm.
week, five trips back forwards and back for work, and and that to me is, it's still a bike that's been chopped. And I mean, it's the scene. Like, obviously, they are there, but it's almost as if they're not frowned upon, because I think everyone respects anyone that chops anything. But it's almost like, if it ain't a Harley, you know, and it isn't a 10,000+ build,
Mhm.
it's almost like it's not accepted as as some. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm talking out
No,
of content, but
no, I agree with you 100% on that. Harleys are definitely like top of the line when you want to build a chopper.
mm,
But I have seen in recent years, there's a one guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me right now, but he's built a couple Honda choppers with some
mm,
Survivor CBs, and he's featured in a lot of shows. I think he actually won Built Wells People's Champ probably 2 years ago with
oh, that's
with a,
cool.
with a with a Honda chopper. So I love to see that because I'm a
Yeah,
big Honda guy. I grew up on Honda dirt bikes, and like I've said, I have had a couple CBs in my life. So I love to see like the inclusion of a Japanese motor.
yeah. But the same again with the CBs. I mean, how much are you talking for a 750 now in America?
I mean, if you want to buy one that's decently running, that's probably already bobbed and maybe has some issues, you're probably still looking at 35 to $4,000. I don't know what that translates to exactly over there, but I mean,
Yeah,
in my mind, that's still a little bit more than I'd like to pay.
yeah, yeah. It's well, like I said, I mean, it's cool in the respect of, to me, like I said, as long as it's chopped, that's cool. That's cool for
Mhm.
me. I'm happy with that. And so yeah. So obviously, like, for what's the plan? Like, I see, obviously, there's pictures of your workshop on there, which is cool. That's a cool work.
I
You even
appreciate
got a
it, man.
pool table, man. I mean, what's that? Who has a pool table in their workshop, man? That's sick.
I've always wanted a pool table, man. And a big part of my shop was like I want it to be a place where people can come hang out.
Yeah,
Look at motorcycles. I got a couple bikes in my workshop, right? I have a frame hanging from my ceiling right now,
that's
Like
awesome.
I built a bar out there. I want people to just come have a couple beers, hang out, talk bikes, talk cars, whatever they want. Bullshit.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's like what I would like Degenerate Speed Co to grow into. More of a community, not necessarily a brand, to
yeah,
bring people together. I think it's important, especially in these years with whatever's going on out there, that we still keep our community tight and keep our community close.
yeah,
Um, like we just talked about, inclusion is pretty important.
yeah,
Whether it's a guy that loves Harleys or a guy that loves Victories, everyone's like die hard one brand or another. And I think it's just important that we all just focus on the fact that we all love motorcycles rather than brand superiority.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean for sure. I mean, like for me on my bucket list is, I mean, my dad's on the chats now, and you know, he's got a Harley, and I keep getting what model is wrong, but so I'm not even going to say because straight away he'll comment on it. But his Harley's it's covered in chrome, and I'm like, get rid of the chrome. I said to him, I said, if I ever get hold of that bike, and he's like, you're not having it. I said, everything goes to the powder coaters. I said, everything goes to the powder coaters. I'm not a fan of the chrome, man. The chrome is gotta go.
Yeah, it definitely.
You know?
It's just too much to take care of. That's all.
Are you listening, Dad? Are you listening? He's telling you, get rid of the chrome.
I don't want any problems, but the chrome's gotta go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and you're not going to get on a plane and go and see him in America, are you, man? but yeah, it's So what you say you're working on now? You're working on the CB. There we are. He's commented now. There we are. It is a FXST. Bloody hell, I need some glasses for that. Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what though, he rides it. I mean, I've seen the edges of his boots, man. And let's go on to that a bit before we go back on. I'm waffling on it. But how many people have you seen that that can't believe you can ride a bike like that, like a cruiser, and you can hang off the edge of it, drag the boots? How many people like you say you can do that?
I don't know. It's great. Have you ever heard of the Tail of the Dragon?
Oh yes, up in California. Yes.
Yeah. So people ride the Dragon all the time, and I see pictures of people dragging their baggers like crazy. And I can't do that. I won't even lie. I won't ride like that. I might have been stupid when I was younger, but I'm not doing it anymore. But I love to see it. You know, I love to see it.
Have you seen the video on YouTube of the guy riding the Tail of the Dragon on a Harley, dragging his knee?
I have not seen that one.
There's a video of a guy, and it's on the Tail of the Dragon. There's his friends behind him following him, and he's hanging on. He's not even got levers on. He's got, by the looks of it, just a normal pair of jeans. And this dude's fucking dragging his knee and we're not talking rear sets, the XR style, or we're not talking anything of like modified like that. We're talking
just a standard off the lot.
It almost looks like an FX, like what the boys are riding now, where they're stuck because they're using the FXRs for stunting, aren't they now?
Yep.
Yeah, so it almost looks like one of them boys.
Unless you're one of the savages like Sea Bear or one of them that stunts a road glide, those are crazy. Growing up, because when I lived in Florida, stunt community was huge, and they were all on, just crotch rockets, ZX6s or CBRs or whatever. But then nowadays, I see people stunting road glides or street glides, and I'm just like, big twin, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, how the fuck can I afford to throw them around?
Yeah.
Big money. Yeah, big money for sure, but no, 100% respect to them. I mean, I think it's awesome when you look at a bike and you're like, that's not going to do that, and it does that, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I just posted a reel. I can't remember who it was, but it was a guy stunting a road glide, jumped up onto a curb or something like that, and jumped straight into a wheelie, standing on a seat. And it amazes me every time. That's why I post them so much, because I love it. I love to see people be able to do that and experimenting with, different styles of riding with big bikes. I love it.
Yeah, that's it. And it's so yeah, it's, I mean, and when I've seen them, and there's no line left on the side of the tire, they're hanging off the edge of the tires on these bikes. And I do it on my 125, but obviously there's not much to brag about. But I tell you what, it still looks funny when you got a set of mini apes. I got a suicide shift, and I think I said when I was talking to Ollie the other week, like my suicide shift isn't even. It's ridiculous. Like, I just got one massive lever. Like, I don't have a pendulum piece in the middle, or it's not like what they call a jockey shift. Where you lean down to shift. Mine is literally I got this skull on this bar, and it sits there. I got foot clutch, and I had to bend the bar in some directions to cover to run round my leg, And then, so basically, as I bent it back, it ended up that the lever was back here. So I put another bend in to bring it back forward. And it looks pointless to people, but it's completely deliberate. It almost looks like how this wire is, you know? And it just clears my leg. But and the throw on it is, oh, mate, it's awesome. I fucking love it. And that's the thing, because like you can't break the speed limit really. Well, you can break the speed limit, but barely. You know, if I threw it off a cliff, it'd probably break the national speed limit. But mate, I come up to a corner and I'm like fucking bang bang, like forward into like third, into second, throw it in the corner. The bike's skipping all over the place because the geometry of the frame is completely out. It's like front end's like really light now because the back end sits about 4 inches lower, and the front end just starts skipping, but you know what it's doing. You know, I mean, I've been so lucky to grow up around bikes like that don't I mean, and this is a new bike for me. So this is my newest bike, 2010. Everything else I built, like my first bike I built with my dad, was a 1983 Suzuki GP 125 two-stroke. You know, the bike I ride now is a 1987 ZX10. That thing reminds me of my missus when she's on a period, man. It wants to fucking kill me. You know, and it's that type of bike. It's it's not nice to ride sensibly because it's just lumpy. It just wants to go. It's But personally, I prefer like the bobber style. You know, it's more my style. But to be fair.
That's what I've grown into is the bobber and chopper style for sure.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. I hope to build a shovel head this year. We'll see how that happens. But I would also love to turn my CB into a chopper, get a hardtail kit on it and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the style I'm into now is the bobbers and choppers. It doesn't go out of style.
No, see, when I think of a CB chopper, instantly in my mind, I see a digger. I see a digger style. So like with the coffin style tank, with the big gooseneck headstock, you know, that's straight away what pops in my mind. Is that what you're thinking, or are you thinking like trying to build a short, stubby, lane splitting type CB?
Probably more of a short, stubby CB. But I got to kind of get the geometry figured out on weight because those motors are so dang heavy.
Are they?
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what they weigh compared to like the standard Harley motor, but I think they're a lot heavier. And I could be wrong. I have no idea. Someone could fact check me.
Yeah, 100%, man.
But I think I think it all just comes down to geometry and weight, distribution. But I think a short one would be nice.
Yeah. It's so like with engine work, like you talking, just keep it original, or you like make it reliable?
I think I'm going to keep it pretty original. The motor ran when I pulled it out of the bike. I'm not going to mess with it too much. Just probably some new carbs and redo all the gaskets just to make sure everything's nice and clean. I don't think I have to resurface any faces or anything, so we should be good just that way. Yeah.
Cheers for that, Daniel. Yep, they come out all right. One of the lads, he's actually just got an SV 650 as Danny boy. He's on a 650 SV.
Yeah, Suzuki S50. Yeah.
Yes. So like and obviously like carbs. Let's talk carbs, man. What I looked at the price of the vacuum sliders for my ZX10. We're talking, if I go and buy original ones, we're talking about nearly £200 for 4 vacuum sliders. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? And like, how much is that stuff over there?
I think it's around the same price. I mean, any kind of carbs you want to buy, unless it's some cheap Chinese knockoff, it's not going to be too expensive. But I try to buy original as much as I possibly can. Yeah. I end up just rebuilding stuff because it's cheaper.
Okay.
So, you know, there's carb rebuild kits you can pick up on most Harley parts websites, probably under $100 or maybe under $200 or something like that. Just rebuild it rather than buying a new carb.
Yeah.
I think keeping stuff original is just the way to go. It looks better. Most of the time it works better. So that's just my choice.
No, that's it. I mean, like I say, I basically on one of my carbs, I got a tiny little hole on the top, and unfortunately it's just off where it sits in the you know, where you put the cap back on top of the carb. And I looked at the price of them. I'm like, I'm not paying £200 for some vacuum slide. I mean, and again, if I'm saying if I'm saying the name wrong, I do apologize. I don't know the ins and outs technical, but I'm just not paying £200 for a set of vacuum sliders. So I just fucking glued it. I just got it together, and I used a bit of like silicone, like a rubbery glue.
Yeah.
And I glued that fucker back together. And
you gotta work with what you got.
Yeah.
That's the important part, is just doing it yourself if you can.
Yeah, for sure. And so, like with the CB, how far off are you with having that done?
The CB?
Yeah.
I could probably get it done this summer if I really get towards it. But I have so much other stuff going on with working a full-time job, trying to run the company, and having a daughter. It's a lot. So it's, like I said, it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've owned it. And I've just been slowly collecting parts for it over the years. So hopefully I get all the parts in a couple months and can get it done this summer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, mate, my CB is sat in my friend's garage for, let's say it's mine. It's like half mine, half his, but he's like, doesn't really want to do much with it. He's just waiting for me, really. Because, I mean, my mate can chuck a bike together in 6 months easy. Like, and it's ready to go. It's MOT, it's on the road, everything is ready to go. But I'm just like really slow, and obviously, like I say, we're having a family and trying to juggle all this stuff, and it just takes a back burner, and like life commitments come first, don't they?
Exactly. It's a problem with time. That's time and space.
Yeah, that's it. I found when I have money, I don't have time, and when I have time, I don't have money.
Exactly, because you work to make the money, and then you don't have the time to spend it.
Yeah, that's it. That's my brother just commenting there. Yo. But it's and that's it. It's so with the what's the plan for well, actually, sorry, I seem to be worse than normal tonight, going from one thing to the other. Where did Degenerates Speed come from?
The name itself, or just the idea?
The idea. Well, the idea and the name.
Okay, so the name came Degenerates. I went through so many different names before I chose this, because you don't want to settle on something and then not like it a couple weeks or whatever after you started it. So I went through a bunch. I came down with Degenerates because I myself have always fancied myself as kind of, maybe not necessarily a degenerate, but a fan of the counterculture. When I go back into history of like the outlaw bikers, not necessarily outlaw bikers, but Easy Rider, like the movie. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. Just a couple of degenerates out on a motorcycle ride, So it's just really like, because I'm a fan of the counterculture and not conforming to the normal people, the normal everyday life. So that's where the name came from, is just, be different, be a degenerate,
100%, man. That's sick. I mean, and it's a sick name.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
I saw that and I was like, and that literally how you've explained it is kind of what popped into my head, is like, and that's me as well, man. I mean, like, I've been so fortunate so far to interview some guys from the tattoo scene as well. And it doesn't seem to matter what type of person I'm interviewing, that the guy, we all have the same thought, we're trying to just do our thing and get left alone, especially in today's society when they're trying to, I don't know what it's like in America, but in the UK, it's obviously, they don't want the bikes on the road for starts. And they're trying to just destroy the whole culture, really. They don't want us on the road. And, they want us to conform, to do as we're told, to entertain all the bullshit. And obviously we don't want to go too far into the political stuff, but that's fundamentally what it's like. It's just sticking your middle finger up to society and kind of just going about your own thing,
Exactly. So, just individuality I've always found to be so important. So that's kind of what it's about, just be yourself and, fuck everyone else. Pardon my language.
That's it.
But
No, that's it. It's I say I got I think my first, I think I said to you earlier off air, it was my first guest that was swearing like mad was Lucas. And I was just like, and obviously because I'm trying to learn my way through the Facebook bullshit,
Yeah.
which I say bullshit is, well, actually, whilst I'm on that, with what's just happened to me recently, is we were talking about earlier, some fucking moron deciding to try and scam people through my giveaway. It's absolutely disgusting, and they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to simply change a lowercase to a capital, create a fake account, and start clicking underneath everyone that's entered my giveaway. Oh, congratulations, you're the winner of this. It's absolutely disgusting.
Well,
but yet, you know
no,
what I mean?
sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
no, I was going to say, but like I had a tattoo design removed off my tattoo page because it was a design of Pablo Escobar, and it says plata o plomo, which is literally, you can go through and watch any documentary about Pablo Escobar, and that was his quote, was plata o plomo, which is,
Yeah.
you know, it's obviously plata is I reward you, and plomo is obviously lead, and
Yeah.
it's like, you can interpret that however you want, but they removed that. Okay, for this guy to try and scam people that are trying to support what I'm doing, and yeah, I was really, really, really shocked that they're allowed to just do that.
I guess you've made it if you can say someone's trying to steal your account.
Do you know what, mate? A few people have said that, and I mean, like we spoke off air, like I'm putting so much effort. I mean, I appreciate everybody, you know, and anyone that's been following me from the beginning, thank you very much. And and I believe that anyone can vouch this. I put a lot of effort into replying to everybody. To me, a simple click on the like means everything, because at the end of the day, you don't have to click. You don't even have to look, but
Yep.
people do. They click and they say, keep doing what you're doing. And I mean, I had a scenario yesterday. I don't know if he's watching. It was Graham, a guy in Scunthorpe, and he unfortunately was one of the people that clicked the link. Luckily, nothing happened to him. But I said to him, I said, look, mate, I'm really, really sorry that that's happened to you. I said, give me your address. I'll send you some stickers. And he gives me his address, and it happened to be where I was going to see one of my friends. One of my friends, Bill, he's got a BSA A10, so a Gold Star replica. Bill to me is like my adopted granddad. I've known him most of my life since I was about 9 years old. And I said to this guy, I said, you know what? You're actually in the same place I'm going. So I drove over there, knocked on his door, and this is the first time this ever happened to me. I've never met this guy. I don't even know what he looks like. He's got a picture of his dogs on his profile. And he opens the door and he's like, you all right, mate? And I'm like, all right. Like, not understanding that this guy's seen my face on here. And this is the first time it's ever happened to me. I'm like, all right, mate. Thinking, what the fuck? And it took a couple of minutes for me to go, he sees my face on the camera, you know? I'm like, fucking, it's weird. It's weird. But like, he appreciated the fact that I just went over and here's some stickers, mate. Thank you. And again, a random guy saying, keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, it's just weird. I mean, it's great weird, but it's weird. Yeah. It's you know.
Yeah, it's as little as it seems, every like and comment, like you said, means everything, you know?
Yeah.
Anytime an order comes through the website, I'm so pumped and so ecstatic.
Yeah,
I'm like,
man.
oh, I'm like, yeah, someone's like, you know, getting the name out there or something.
Yeah,
so
yeah, for sure.
Every order that comes through, I throw in a free sticker and a little note with that we write out for them, just to, you know, give thanks and appreciation, because without you know, the little amount of followers that I have right now, I wouldn't be anything still.
No, that's it. So. And you appreciate. And then I think that the next trick is obviously as you grow. I mean, obviously we're like probably the same type of followers. You know, we've been probably. I didn't look to see when you first formed. When did you first form Degenerates Speed Co?
I think it was around August. It might have been July, August. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like May. So yeah. So you know what I mean. So like I say, when I went on your page and I saw that you'd shared the picture of the BSA. Which I straight away didn't. I messaged you. I was like, mate, I would love to take ownership of that bike, like claim to have built that bike, but I didn't build it. You know, I'm just a fan of the culture. And then obviously we started talking, and then I looked through your stuff and I was like, yeah, this dude's doing the same as me, you know, but he's doing it in his own style, which which at the end of the day, none of us are ever going to be able to claim originality. It's been around too long, and I think that hopefully over time, the bravado and the delusion of originality, like I created this, is going to go, and that we connect more, because we're like you say, the bikes are getting old, they're getting harder to get hold of. The governments don't want us on the road. You know, we need to all stick together on it. And
I've one thing I've learned this past year, I went to a couple shows, and typically I go to some shows, but this year was a little bit different after I started the company. You know, I went there with kind of the idea to like meet people, and, you know, I handed out some stickers to just say, hey, here's my company. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything. Just check it out. That's all I ask. And one thing I've learned after meeting some of the people around is the community is so tight knit.
yeah.
And it's like, you know, you don't see that anywhere else anymore, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was people. I went to a show this past, I think it was September, and I met a couple business owners here in the city of Pittsburgh and some builders and stuff. And I've talked to them a few times since then, and they've been nothing but like, you know, grateful and, you know, nice enough to talk to me, because I don't have a platform yet. I just want to. I don't even need, you know, just kind of share my name. That's all I ask.
And that's it. So with your so I'm just about to pull up your website. So I had a quick look through there. At the moment, it seems to be mainly a pill that you guys call it a pill, yeah? We call it like clothing brand. Is that right?
Yeah. As of right now, it's kind of like a clothing brand. But from what I've you know, tried to. What I want to do is become a community. I don't want to be a clothing brand.
No.
You know, that's just kind of a way to get the name out there, and you know, give people something to like buy and look at and wear. And it gets the name out.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it's so I'll say I'm just pulling on here now for everyone to see. If it wants to play ball, I will add that on there. And it's, yeah, so, and like, where did the idea come from? Where did it come from with regarding like the style of clothing you did? Why is that one done that? Sorry, mate.
Oh no, you're good. The style of clothing
malfunctioning.
You all good?
Yeah, I think so. Oh wow. Bear with me. Yep, keep going, mate. Sorry, but you just ignore me, man. You just do your thing.
You're good. So, like, I mean, I'm going for, you know, my t-shirts and stuff are all pretty standard, but like, you know, a lot of my designs, like this one especially, and the hat, if you can get a close up there.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick.
I'm very into vintage and retro fashion. So, like, you know, I did the big bubble letters, like it's the 60s and stuff. I've always loved it. Like I said earlier, I might have said it before we went live, but I love the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. It's like my favorite era of, you know, culture in general. Because of the cars and the fashion and the motorcycles and all that. So that's like kind of how my designs come about, is, you know, retro and vintage look.
That's it. There, we got it there. I knew. Bear with me, people. I fucking knew we'd get it. What a day. Yeah, so you can see there, like, so it's all screen printed style stuff.
Yeah. So this is my vintage page here. So like I do some thrifting as well. So
what's that for people that don't know?
Okay, so I like to buy older Harley t-shirts or older t-shirts and stuff that I find interesting, and I resell them. So on my vintage page right now, we have a couple Harley t-shirts from different Harley dealers around the states. I think there's one from New Mexico and Michigan and Florida, maybe a couple from Florida, and then, you know, just a couple other ones that I thought looked cool. Like there's a vintage guitar shop shirt on there from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. So like, and obviously it becomes like what, a challenge to find the vintage shirts.
Absolutely. I mean, the vintage and the thrift world has blown up over the past couple of years. Now
Yeah,
everyone's going to their local Goodwill or thrift shop and trying to get their hands on everything they possibly can.
yeah,
So it becomes a challenge, but I really just did that as another way to kind of bring people in.
yeah,
Because
man,
like I
yeah, for
said,
sure.
I wanted to capitalize on people loving, vintage and thrift stuff. I was like, I would love to do it too. I love that kind of stuff. I wear that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
why not do it
yeah,
myself?
yeah, that's it. And then obviously that you were saying, like mentioning about you're looking to bring in your own screen printing. So are you going to take massive inspiration from that style, like doing like the color what they call it, the color wash shirts? Is it?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know exactly what I'll end up doing, well, like, later on. But I keep everything pretty simple right now.
Yeah.
And I got a buddy who does marketing and graphic design, and he's done a couple logos for me here. And there should be some hoodies and more hats and stuff coming out soon, with well, kind of similar design to this with
Yeah, man.
retro look.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And obviously, like, and so like when it comes to like setting up your website and stuff, this is more of a question for me because this is where I think that I'm gonna have to go to, because I really want to continue to try and like give back to people with the
Hmm.
giveaways and things that I tried to do. So I'm thinking of like how I'm going to learn how to set up a website and start to maybe host things on there in a lot more secure manner where people aren't gonna, feel like they're gonna get fucking scammed by some
Hmm.
little retard in a bedroom.
Yeah,
Um, so is it hard to set up a website?
I didn't think so. I did it kind of an easy way, I think. I used Shopify's,
Okay.
business center, whatever, however they call it.
Yeah.
Um, and it, they set you up with a URL, and then you can design all your website from there. They give you templates, so it makes it super easy.
Mm.
Um, I honestly found it pretty easy. It does get maybe a little bit more difficult if you're technologically challenged like I am. I'm not that great with computers.
Like caveman.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So like I found it a little bit difficult when it came to like trying to make different pages and stuff.
Yeah.
But overall it's pretty simple. I would go that route if you wanted to
Yeah,
start a
yeah, for
website.
sure. For sure. I mean, like I said, I've been so lucky to use the Buy Me a Coffee platform that's enabled me to run like an e-shop, like an
Hmm.
online shop. But I feel that for the future, I don't want people like I direct people to the page because that's where they are for sale in a safe, secure manner to purchase
Hmm.
them. I kind of, as part of my head that's like, are people thinking that I'm trying to get them just to donate? And no
Hmm.
one's ever said that, but I'm really not about trying to take from people in that respect. But it's still that's why I feel that the next step is to is to uh, is to definitely move into what's that? Definitely not technically challenge. Scream Dark Maggot. Yeah, so that's me. He fucking knows. He knows, man. I am that person. I am that person. Cheers, Dan. Yeah, thanks, man. Fanny Danny. But yeah, mate, technology is not my thing for sure, man.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we fuck around with bikes that are older than us. They
Hmm.
work better.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with any kind of ECU computer bullshit. Just give me a motor. That's all I want.
Yeah, yeah, but then at the same time, I say that, but then I start losing my shit when I can't get the points, when I can't get the engine timed up properly on the points.
Hmm.
Man, it's fucking. Just give me a basic CDI unit. That'll do me. Yeah, fucking hell.
No,
Amount of
I
time I lost trying to time up an engine was ridiculous. And it's a two-stroke. That's what makes
yeah,
it worse. It's a stroke.
I went
Yeah,
to school here in Orlando for Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. I went for a
awesome.
few months and ended up leaving, but I did get to the class where you have to time motorcycles and rip the engines apart and all that. I don't like timing. I can agree with you on that. I don't like to deal with that.
Oh, mate. I mean, like I said, I mean, and nowhere has anyone seen me on this platform, on any shape or form, claim to be a pro builder or a mechanic because I'm not. I'm not, and that's like, that's for me is, I think, staying true to what you can do and being honest. People appreciate that more. I mean, I personally took massive inspiration to start jumping down the road of YouTube by a guy that's called Matt Armstrong, who builds cars. You know, he's trending on YouTube. He's massive. Like he recently uploaded a video 24 hours ago. It's got 1 million views already. Rebuilding smash damaged cars. I don't know if you've come across him, but he's huge on YouTube.
I might have, yeah.
And like one of his t-shirts says, "Hard work beats talent," and that's it. You know, obviously talent is incredible. Like, you know, it's not knocking anyone that's got natural talent to build stuff. But I do believe that if you are willing to put in the time, that you're gonna achieve. It might take you longer if you don't have the talent, you know, but you will get there. You know, that's what I think. I don't know.
I can agree 100%. I'm nowhere near professional. I went to the school of YouTube University. That's what you got to do. That's, like we said earlier, that's what you got to do. And if you got, it is what it is.
So what made you, like you say, you grew up around bikes, you're building a CB. So for me, it was like, I just thought, fuck it, I gotta have a go. You know, this year for me has been a massive learning year. So like, I'm learning that I've been a massive hypocrite in my life, because, and I mean it in the respect that I tell my missus and my kids, look, you can do what you want, you can achieve it, you just gotta do it. And then my missus would turn around at me and say, but you're not doing it. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but, and I'm saying to my son, like, you know, you want to do gaming on like streaming? I said, do it, you know. And then he's looking at me, but Dad, you're saying this, man, and you're not doing it. And then, like I said, I just took inspiration from Matt when I watched one of his podcasts and realized that you can make a living. I mean, my aim on YouTube is to make a wage. Like once I can safely get to a stage where I'm consistently making a wage, that's where I will then look at my next step. Yeah. And crazily, I believe I can achieve it. And I say crazily because I'm not a great welder. I believe I have a natural ability to see something in some design. You know, I've been lucky to be around the tattoo industry a little bit, growing up around bikes as well, making something out of nothing. And I think that's maybe the thing. I have a vision. I have a natural kind of idea of where I'm going to go with something. And my biggest gift is I've been surrounded by people that simply know what they're doing. That's the biggest gift, I think, is and taking their advice. Still having that silly little side of me that ignores some of their advice and then wishes I didn't. But it's part of learning, you know. It's so like for you, what was your moment of, I'm going to register Degenerates Speed Co as a thing? I'm going to put that out there. This is now a thing. What was your turning point for this?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I mean, I mentioned it before. It's owning a custom motorcycle company or something to do with motorcycles has been a want my entire life.
Yeah.
And I think it was just this past year, and I think COVID did it a lot too. It changed my like mental a lot, just in general. I hated my old job. I was miserable and depressed. And I think, you know, once I got out of that and got to somewhere I was happy and enjoyed, and honestly, I have to give a lot of credit to my girlfriend for, you know, keeping my mental well.
Yeah.
And I, you know, her always having my back was just kind of like, it made me comfortable with just taking the dive.
Yeah.
And you know, once you take the dive, you're pretty set. I mean, yeah, you have to keep going, but it's all about that first step. So like right now I have another step that I need to cross, and it's just like the growing part. And I need to continuously take the step. And it's just, you know, and you have an infinite staircase, and you just got to keep going. That's all it is. And yeah, I think it was just my love for bikes and everything. And, you know, it just kind of hit me one day, and I was like, I need to do it. If I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it.
Yeah. No, that's for sure, man. So like for you, there's one for you. So I look at passion for what we're doing. And I say to people, like, the passion comes in on the day that you don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think like when you're vibing and you're just like, people are like sharing your stuff, people are sending you messages or commenting on your stuff, them days are great. And you obviously that's what you live for. But on the day where it's down, like for me, obviously with this stuff that's just gone on with this person trying to copy my, you know, whatever. That for me was the day, was like, they were hard days, like
Mm-hmm.
in respect of, and some people don't get it. They're like, oh, but it's only Facebook, it's only social media. I'm like, no, I'm trying to create something here, you know. I'm like, someone's trying to take from me what I'm working really hard to achieve, and that's the day that I felt that was important, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where the passion come in to keep pushing. Like,
Yeah.
do you find that?
Yeah. There's so many days where I want to do absolutely nothing with it. You know, I'll wake up in the
Yeah,
morning and just be like, today's not it. Or something happens and I'm just like, I'm not feeling it right now, you know?
yeah,
But there's always the thought of, um, I always have a thought where it's, who am I letting down in this moment?
yeah,
And most of the time it's, I'm letting down myself,
yeah.
and you just can't get into that hole, really. You always got to continuously work through it, you know?
Yeah, that's for sure, man. And it's, you know, and like I said, for me as well, on a learning curve with it all, because I find it so hard. I'm finding the social media thing just to continue to progress, extremely hard. Trying not to get
Hmm.
frustrated with the do's and don'ts that fucking Facebook wanna put in place. And then I don't know about you, if you've had the same issue, but recently they've been holding back my stuff. You know,
Hmm.
I know they have, because I haven't breached anything. If anything, my content is up more than it was before. You
Yeah.
know, but yet people aren't seeing it. Has that happened for you?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, I I will say I used to post a lot more than I have in recent time, and I think that's
Yeah,
just because of the holidays and stuff. I've fallen behind,
yeah,
but I feel like I hit a plateau with posting. You know, like I used to get a
yeah,
lot more engagement, and now it's, you know, engagement's a lot farther down. But I'm still using tons of hashtags, all that kind of stuff. Social media is kind of a weird one. I don't know if it's trends in the, you know, in the culture or what it is,
yep,
but I definitely feel like, you know, you can hit a wall with it.
yeah, yeah, for sure,
Absolutely.
for sure, for sure. I mean, and I tell you something, like for me, it's like, I think that they give you the recommended time to post, and I'm like,
Hmm.
nope. I'm like, no. And I don't know why, but this is like what I said earlier. It's like, I don't know what's happening. Is that even though I'm struggling with it, even though it's not easy, there's still a part of me that thinks, I keep saying to my missus, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but this is going to do something, you know. And like, I'm talking to my friends that I got some friends who are extreme. One of my really close friends is an amazing painter. He painted my ZX10, which I haven't really done much on social media with, because I just haven't. It's just been sat there.
Hmm.
I use it, and it's trying to learn how to video and take photos better as well.
Hmm.
But I'm going to be doing a review on some cleaning products soon. And then the bike's going to be in that, because I'm going to clean the bike, obviously, with
Hmm.
these products. And I'm going to highlight my friend's work, which my friend's work is fucking insane. Um, but like, I found that it's so hard, and yet carrying on. And I'm saying to my friends, like, this is going to do something, and you're all coming with me, you know.
Hmm.
And yeah, shout out to Jay. Jay's from your neck of the woods. He's American as well.
Oh,
Jay.
what's up, Jay?
Yeah, Jay's the same again. Jay's like us. I think he's starting to push out on social media. He's starting to do some lives and things on Instagram, I believe. He's just set up a YouTube channel. I've been so lucky to connect with you guys, and it's like crazy, because like, even though I'm not very old in respect of technology, like I know live stuff's gone around for a while, but I'm like, I say to my friends, I'm like, I'm fucking sat in my front room talking to a dude from America. I mean, how insane is that? And they look at me like,
It's
yeah, yeah. And I'm like, no, but you don't get it. Like, you know,
no,
it's crazy.
I love what you're doing, man. I didn't know anything until I posted that picture and you sent me a message.
Yeah, straight
And
away.
from
Straight
them,
away.
I listen to podcasts all day long, so it was
Yeah.
perfect for me to go down your catalog and just listen as many as I can when I could.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think there's anyone in our world that does this. So I think
I
what you're
mean, I
doing
mean,
is
there is,
perfect.
I mean, like I said, I was so like last week when I interviewed Ollie. I mean, you've got to listen to this dude's podcast, man.
Hmm.
Ollie is like, for me, is like right up there in what we're trying to do, like trying to absorb the passion of the
Hmm.
culture and somewhat make the connections. I mean, like Ollie's fucking interviewed Jesse James, man.
Oh
Jesse
shit!
James,
I didn't know that.
exactly. Do you know
Yeah.
how crazy? Do you know how crazy that is? You don't know that either, right? Ollie is a fucking legend in this game of podcasting. This dude has interviewed so all the guys, and that's how I came across the Builtwell competition. Ollie's
Hmm.
interviewed them all. Like
Oh, that's awesome.
mate, honest to God, like you need ride choppers or die, and this isn't like I was so lucky to talk to him on my podcast last week, and like I look at it in the respect that I'm probably never going to get to meet Jesse James, and that's cool. But however, to be able to speak to someone that's been able to absorb his information, Jesse James is a god in the
Hmm.
chopper world, you know.
Yeah.
And then I've been so lucky 3 days later to interview Terry from Lethal Threat, which is he's
Hmm.
based in New York, and Terry, as he says in the podcast, Terry's helping push Indian Larry's bike into a show. I mean, I got Indian Larry's question mark in my hand
That's awesome.
because from the age of like 12 years old, living in Spain, watching Discovery Channel, watching Larry ride a bike with no fucks given, and ride a bike
Hmm.
that was built to look cool and handle, which typically choppers aren't. It's one or the other,
Yeah.
you know. And then to see a guy fucking building half a panhead, half a knucklehead, and you're like, what? Like,
Hmm.
and obviously, I'm a kid that knows nothing about choppers in that respect, but I just loved it, man. And then obviously for me, getting my hand tattooed is like the meaning for my hand. What my watch on my hand is, you never know when your time's up. But I just
Hmm.
wanted to pay a little tribute to someone that I take massive inspiration in design from, and it was simply I wanted the question mark. You know,
Hmm.
I wanted Larry's logo because it looks sick. It's got the you can't really obviously you can't see it on the camera, but
Yeah.
um, and I'm getting it, and I know I'm waffling on, but I'm sat there talking to Terry. I'm like, mate, you've been in the presence of these guys. These guys are legends, and I love the humbleness of yeah, you know, he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing. You know, we help each other out, and and that's so cool. That's
Hmm.
so cool to be able to. So I absorb that energy because I'm the dude sat in my front room, and for so long I spent so long getting frustrated, like, oh, I could do this if I had that. I can
Hmm.
do that if I had this, and getting wound up and then getting down about it. And then now I'm learning to go, right, I can do this, but I need to get there, you know.
Hmm.
And then it's, and you know, that's for me is what's starting to change is instead of getting pissed off that, oh, you know, why it's not fair, like acting like a
Yeah.
fucking child about it, I'm just absorbing the energy from you guys that, I mean, I'm sat here talking to you, and you're in America. I mean, how fucking cool is that?
Yeah. It's
You
awesome.
know?
I was so hesitant at first because I never done this before, but to just take the dive, man, it's awesome. I love it. It's like it's one of the
Terrifying.
it's yeah, it's terrifying, but it's also
It's
like one of the
terrifying.
coolest. It's one of the coolest things ever. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, mate, and I say I do apologize, I'm probably talking a bit too much, but
Oh, you're good.
like
You're good, man.
so like this cleaning company that I've just been reaching out to, they're doing car stuff, and I was like, look, do you do bike stuff? And they were like, we're looking to do it, and they've got small numbers on social media. I'm like, let me know when you've got bike stuff, and I'm keeping in contact with them, probably irritating them as well as I irritate everybody. And I'm like,
Hmm.
look, let me know, and I'm like, they're a small number following at the moment, bigger than me, but they're still small numbers in this game. And I'm like, I want to be the guy that stood next to them. I
Hmm.
want to be the guy that's like, I did the video today. I'm like, Some say they're doing bike stuff, and I'm saying it because that's what they're telling me. And I'm like, right, I'm gonna fucking try this stuff. At the end of the day, it's cleaner anyway.
Yeah.
And I just think that we're starting to get we're fortunate enough to get to talk to the big dogs and the humble ones that wanna take their time out of their busy days, but to kind of all come up together, you know.
I preach a lot of like community and sticking together. You know, we all, just because we all love the culture, we got to, help each other, work with each other, just like you're doing. And I've been trying to do too. It's a lot, you push each other farther. If you got someone to work with, you'll keep pushing and eventually it'll come to be.
Yeah, man, for sure. And obviously, like we were talking off air, like you were mentioning with regarding from coming from a military background, and obviously, like how is it for you? Like you're saying that you don't feel that the veteran background is like the veteran guys are supported so much. I mean, and I don't understand anything about military, but even from my side, you can see that. From someone that doesn't understand how the military works, I feel that it's very visible that you guys haven't been supported after everything you've done,
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I want to do this, and I want to put some rides together and put some shows together to benefit veterans. Eventually I'll get to the point where, any proceeds and whatnot can go straight to a veterans foundation to help veterans. Right now we're dealing with, they say it's 22 a day, 22 veterans, hurt themselves or commit suicide a day, and that's terrible. That's extremely unacceptable, just because the mental health and physical health help is not there. Whether it's our Veterans Affairs community, that's our administration, veteran health administration is not helping enough, or with the homeless veteran crisis, it's absurd. And I think that I want to use my platform and do what I can to get these people together to, whether they like bikes or not, just come out and hang out, meet people. Maybe you'll find some good friends. I just think it's important to, help others with, whatever it is they're dealing with. And my specialty just happens to be veterans because I'm one myself. So if I can give people a voice, and if I can give people a place to hang out or people to talk to and, enjoy some time with, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, for sure, man. And obviously, hopefully if there is any, I don't know if there is any veterans that are listening, but if they do come across this, obviously Degenerates Speed Company is the guy that's wanting to get involved. And I mean, that's one thing you do see in the bike world, especially the guys that are massive on social media. They do clearly take the time, they clearly take the time to, I've seen it on, like, I watch Dirtbags California.
I love
Mikey
those guys.
Logo, man, fucking guy's insane. But like, there's been a few episodes where he's mentioned about helping a veteran, like pulling a bike in, even though he's got a busy schedule, and it's a veteran bike, and it's sick. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome.
And it goes back to, like I said, the whole chopper scene and bobber scene came from people coming back from Vietnam. So this whole thing started with veterans on bikes. So why not continue that tradition and give these people, if they want to come work on a bike, come work on a bike. I don't know. If they want to just come look at bikes, let's have a show. Let's get them together.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I just want to do anything I can in the realm of possibility right now to help out.
Yeah, and effectively we have the biggest tool available, social media. Even though it doesn't seem to be easy to fucking crack it, but it is there. It's so like, you got plans to doing a show? Is that something you want to do?
So there's a company out here, Uptown Metalworks, out in Pittsburgh with me, who I met them at Glory Days motorcycle show down here in Pittsburgh this year.
Yeah, I've heard of that show.
It is an awesome show. If you ever get the chance to come across the pond and go, you can stay at my house. I got an extra room.
That's awesome.
You're more than welcome.
I'll sleep on the pool table.
Yeah, you can do that too. But no, I met these people, Allie, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but Uptown Metalworks. We might try to work out a ride or something next year,
Oh, that's cool.
and eventually work towards a show. I would love to do a show where all the proceeds go to whatever foundation I can find to
Yeah,
help
man.
people out.
Yeah,
Um,
that's cool. And like you say, and it's not, I mean, there's this, I don't know the best way to explain it, but it's a selfish act for yourself because the feeling you get is you get an amazing feeling. So I don't just do it to feel good myself, but you know, like I'm trying to put together a tattooing event, which
mhm.
I hopefully got one of the guys that I interviewed, James from Pins and Needles Tattoo Parlor in the UK. I'm fairly sure on board with it, and I got the inspiration from interviewing a guy that's got ME. ME is, I'm not going to say the full name because I don't know how you say it, but ME is fundamentally a condition that affects the muscles, and then obviously
Okay.
it eventually, the worst case outcome is obviously, it can be a fatal thing. And for me, being that my stepbrother and my stepsister have lost their mother to it, and my stepsister has it as well. And the fact that not a lot of people are aware of it. I don't know if you, I mean, have you heard of ME?
Not ME, but I've heard of MS, which seems like a similar thing.
Oh, so that's where I do apologize. It's MS. Yeah, my dad
Okay,
has
then
ME. So yeah,
okay.
yeah, he's even commented there. So yeah, so sorry. There we are. That's bad enough that I should know more about it. But MS. Sorry, my dad has ME. But yeah, so I want to raise some money for that, and also my missus, she's epileptic, so
Hmm.
it's the idea is just to put together an amazing event where it's a 24-hour tattooing event, and all the proceeds will go to charity.
Hmm.
Um, and it's gonna be an awesome event, and it will
Yeah,
happen. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I got to jump through some legal tape bullshit and fucking entertain all that stuff, but I have to do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Um,
That sounds awesome. I love that
yeah,
idea.
man. Yeah, well, the idea is it's going to be streamed live as well. The whole
Okay.
24-hour event is going to be streamed live, and then there's going to be links that people can donate to the charity. So it'll be all official links. I've got to obviously make sure everything's 100% above board with all the permits and everything, but
Hmm.
it'll all be done legit. Like you know, yeah. So that's why I want to stream it as well, because obviously people from abroad that aren't able to just come over and get a tattoo, and not just that is people that can't afford to get tattooed. And this is one
Yeah.
of my biggest drives with this, like we were talking earlier, is not everyone can afford this stuff, but they're equally as passionate. And then people
Hmm.
matter. Then people
Hmm.
that can't afford to buy a bike or aren't physically able to buy a bike, or then people that can't afford to get tattooed, that love tattoos, and why don't they matter? Of course they fucking matter. They
Hmm.
matter. They matter equally as to the guy that's going to contribute whatever, or the guy that's going to buy the most expensive bike. Them guys matter too, and
Absolutely.
and that's my drive. That for me, I just felt like with what I'm trying to do for 666 was create a platform that I can help people reach my YouTube channel, but
Hmm.
also, and the podcast was just, I just felt that there was a gap for us little dudes that wasn't there. There wasn't that
Yeah.
connection there. That like you said, you never heard of this type of thing really, but yet Ollie's killing it on a bigger level. You
Hmm.
know, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to be the dude at the bottom that's trying to connect the smaller guys and hopefully rise with the smaller guys, and then we can then help the guys below us as well. And you
Absolutely.
know, that's
Absolutely.
kind of my
I agree. Like I keep saying, I agree 100% because I think we're on the same page with kind of everything. You know what I mean? It's,
yeah, for sure, man.
bringing people together and working together, and
Yeah,
individuality is important. Individuality is important, but so is community.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. That's it, and it's you know, for sure that and that's what it should be. That's what it should be. It should be we just all get together and just fucking enjoy it. And so for
hmm.
you, like, what's the next plan with Degenerate Speed Company, Speed Co? Sorry.
um, no, you're good. I want to get my blog together. I want to create a blog page on my website for either people to write in themselves or whether they have to email me their story.
Yeah.
Because I want to have an outlet for people to talk about their builds or talk about their, how they fell in love with motorcycles or, whatever it is. I want to
That's
have that
awesome.
in a nice blog for everyone to come check out. Or I could just post it on Instagram, whatever. So
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure.
just like you're doing with your followers builders.
Yeah, that's it. That's
It's
it.
a very similar thing.
Yeah, I mean, and the reason, like for me, the reason why I got Robin Hood Beard Company involved, David, who owns that, is I just wanted to. I wanted a company, and I mean, I make this clear. Like, I don't gain anything financially from this, and I don't want to gain from this. What I wanted to do is I wanted the person that's building the bike in their shed to look at someone that's wanting to post their build progressively and be able to have a company on board that's nothing to do with
Mm-hmm.
bikes, that appreciates that their content equally as much as I do, if that makes any
Mm-hmm.
sense. I wanted to make it look more professional,
Yeah.
and in the respect that I wanted it to feel like, fucking hell, this is a bigger deal. Like, and it's happening because Dave shares stuff like, this guy's just selling beer products. He's got there's no style of bike stuff to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Dave, and if he's watching or if he'll see this and he'll admit to it, is, he'll say the same thing. It's all I wanted out of this was equal appreciation. I wanted to tag him in it, let everyone know that he's there, and then I wanted something like that back, and that's what he's doing for me. He shares my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I need to contact him with regards to what do you think to this, and he's like, yeah, yeah, and if if he wants to steer it, that, well, can we just maybe have a look at that?
Yeah.
In the respect of, do you know what I mean? And that's it. So I just wanted it to be taken more serious, because at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, that dude that's building a 50cc scooter, that's customizing it, he matters too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's sick.
Yep.
It is sick.
The
It is
the little guy is just as important as the dude building his bike in a, 5,000 square foot warehouse.
100%.
It's just as important, and yeah, honestly, it's kind of cooler to me. Um, I love the garage built bikes because I like to see the ingenuity put into it.
Yeah.
That's just, it's so, it's intricate to see the little details that they might have had to, oh, I don't have a certain welder to be able to fab this up. So what can we kind of work around? Can we shape this sheet metal to, whatever it might be, just like those little things that the little guys can't do. I love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I'm learning how to weld. I mean, fucking hell, it looks like at first. I mean, it's got better, but I'm certainly not winning any competitions in my world. But
Mm-hmm.
it holds the weight. I got some of my friends are like 6'3", like, in stone. They're like good 21, 22 stone. And I'm like, I built the back end on my ZX10. I'm like, sit on that. And they're like, right. I said, right now, literally almost jump on it. And they're like, what do you mean, jump? I said, mate, fucking jump on it. I said, because if that can hold you, you're 6 foot odd. Like, I don't know what it is in pounds, but he's like 21, 22 stone. My friend, I'm like, you fucking jump on that thing. And you're fucking nuts. I said, yeah, but I want to make sure when I'm going down the road, it's not going to fucking
Yeah.
fall apart, And
Yeah, absolutely.
that's it. It's all fun, man. It's all fun
Yeah,
to
man.
have a group of people around you. So, yeah, mate. Is there anything else you wanna cover?
I don't know, man. I think we've kind of covered everything. I don't know. I'm just appreciative of the conversation that we've had, really. Um, it's great to give a platform to people and build
Awesome,
together. I love it.
awesome, man. It's so like obviously you're gonna let everyone know when you start to push more your screen printing and that as well, yeah. It'll
Absolutely.
all
Yeah.
be, yeah. You have to keep me updated on it, because I
Mhm.
mean you probably see on my platform, man. I share everything. I share
Mhm.
everyone's stuff. I love it all, man. That's all it's about to me.
Yeah,
So
that's
you keep
something
me
I got to get
updated on
better
it.
at. Yeah, something I got to get better at. I'll start sharing more. I know, like I said, I used to a lot better, and then the holidays kind of got in the way and everything.
Family, mate.
But
Family,
yeah,
things
got
like
to
that.
keep on it. But I mean, we're all kind of a family too, anyways. You know,
For sure.
just a different type.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's you know, that's it, and it's so yeah, man. I think we'll leave it there. And like I say, obviously, people that want to check out your website, it's degeneratespeedco.com. Yeah,
Yep. Yes, sir.
that's it. And obviously they'll find you on Instagram under the same names, Degenerate Speed Co. And Facebook. You said it was the same as well, yeah.
Yes, it's just Degenerates
Exactly.
Speed Co. Yep.
Exactly. I mean, I'll put all the links on anyway, but obviously some people end up having, like, I've had to use a different name for Instagram. Obviously the fact that some other bastards claimed it, like, I would fucking delete that. I want it. But, but,
I got lucky with mine.
But that's what I mean, man. That's what's so fucking cool about, like, Degenerates, man. I'm like, yeah, that's twisted, man. That's sick. That's like fucking, yeah, fuck off.
That's what I mean. You get my I think it's on my Instagram bio and it's on my website. It's like, live fast, be a degenerate.
Yeah, man. Hey, I got flat out.
Oh, I love that, man. That's awesome.
I'm gonna tell you the fucking funniest story to that before we go. Right, this is gonna make you fucking laugh. So I came home. My missus didn't know I got this done, right? And I walk into the bedroom. It's like, look at that, and she's like, "What the fuck you got that done for?" I was like, "It's fucking cool," and she's like, "No, it ain't." And I'm like, and then she said, "What it should say is flat out at everything for 2 seconds." I'm like, "What does that mean?" She's like, "You fucking know what that means."
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. That's awesome.
Man. Yeah, flat out everything for 2 seconds. I was like, "Fuck you," you know. Yeah, fucking.
That's good. That's such a good one.
I should say it's actually 2.3 seconds. I can last. Thank you very much.
Round up, round it up.
Fucking, let's go, let's go. Yeah, man. So I think, like I said, we'll leave it there. I think that's funny, but yeah, man, we'll end the live. And again, to everyone that's watching, at the moment, I think we've got 3 people in, but we've had a few, and man, it's been cool. Like I said, we've had people in from over your side of the world. It's incredible. Awesome. Like, thank you everybody so much. Sorry again for the shit that went on with this raffle. Raffle giveaway. I promise I'm working on an idea to make it more secure, because I really do want to do this. I love the idea. It means so much to me knowing that someone wants to hit my logo, which is insane. And like, yeah, actually, there's something I didn't ask you. I asked this to Terry last week. What's it like when you've seen someone wearing your shirt, like with your logo on? What's that feel like to you?
It is. It's crazy. I don't know. I mean, like, it's like one of the best feelings of all time. It's
insane,
because it's just like, yeah, that came from my head to a shirt to this person, you know, states away, or, you know, a country away, or whatever. And it's like, that is the coolest thing ever.
It's just, so fucking humble. It's such an honor. It's such a fucking honor.
You know, it's like a dream coming to life, essentially. You know what I mean? It's very cool and it's awesome.
Yeah,
I can't even put it into words.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I'm sat in the same front room where I fucking put a logo together on my phone. You know, I fucked around with the design, because obviously I've been lucky enough to be able to do designs for tattoos for people, and I just put that together. I'm like, wow, people actually want to wear that logo. It's like, what, you know, like, wow. And yeah, so it's like you say, it's an honor, isn't it? You know, it
is. It
is, man.
It's humbling, and it's an honor, like you said.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so we will end it there. Like I said, people want to buy some of your clothing, degenaratespeedco.com, and they'll find all the relevant links on the website as well to your social medias. And man, watch where Lane's going to be going, because I think he's going to be going places as well, which is awesome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I could say the same to you.
I'll say, well, I'll end this there, and